Welcome back to Pop Dissected. Today, we're going to be talking about Adele and why it seems she will never flop. Adele has secured 120 million sales worldwide in the last 12 years. Adele is the only artist to not have one, but two records released after 2010 that have sold more than 20 million units globally. She's the only female artist to have had the best-selling album worldwide, not twice, but 3 times. And additionally, she's won 15 of her 18 Grammy nominations. So we get it. Adele is a powerhouse in the industry. It seems as if she has a Midas touch that can never be defeated. When it comes to other women in the industry, we could argue Adele is the only one who never has competition when it comes to charts or sales. So why is it that Adele may never flop, or fall short of what we expect for her? Well, I've got a few ideas on why this is, and we've seen this repeat with 21 and 25. Adele's debut, 19, didn't make the waves of impact her succeeding record would. Her impact was felt more heavily in the United Kingdom, with 19 soaring atop the UK charts and earning her 4 Brit Awards for the era. Though Adele tried to break out into the American market, this came to a halt when she canceled some dates on her US tour in 2008. However, after starring as a musical guest on an episode of Saturday Night Live on October 18th of 2008, 19 soared to the top of the iTunes chart and jumped 35 places to number 11 on the Billboard 200. The episode had a viewership of 17 million, the highest in 14 years, and this was due to the episode taking place near the end of the 2018 election. With this huge demographic of viewership, Adele had in one night secured her audience in the United States. Now, 19 was a standout for Adele. It put her name on the map, but 21 would be the record the world would know Adele for. 21 released just about 3 years following 19. With 21, Adele would bring back her signature soul sound with a more contemporary pop noir flair in the mix. This is one thing that keeps Adele's audience coming back for her. Though Adele may shift around her influences to bring in new sounds, she always remains consistent with her signature sound, soul. With this, audiences know what to expect when they buy an Adele record. 21 was able to bring more pop into her record, which serves as a faint echo of the pure pop dominating at the time. It keeps her relevant in the pop scene, but also so she doesn't get lost among everyone else because her signature sound is so different. Additionally, the title 21 is not far from its predecessor, 19. Both reflect her age at the time of completing the said records. With these ages, we're given a sense of relatability, where we can tie these ages to our own life in the context of the songs Adele has released. One thing that served this era well that differs from the 25 era is the rollout. Adele would begin a small promo tour in the fall of 2010 around the United States. Places and channels such as VH1 and AOL began promoting Adele's older tracks. After the release of Rolling in the Deep in November of 2010, Adele would go on to make a variety of live performances and appearances in the UK and the United States during their respective weeks of release of 21. A month after the US release of 21, Adele embarked on the record's supporting tour. It ran for 6 months until September. However, a large number of dates were canceled due to her vocal cords being strained. Being number 1 in nearly 30 countries worldwide, 21 proved Adele was a global icon. We can see the rollout for the record was very fast-paced, albeit planned out for the long term. Promotion began before even a first single was released, allowing audiences to build up hype into her music. Upon Rolling in the Deep's release, the interest in her music would only increase with anticipation for a new record. Of course, the consistent performances and engagement during the UK and US releases would help promote the record in 2 of Adele's biggest markets, the tour following close to the release of the record. You may be more inclined to buy the record, since you get to see that artist live so close to the release of said record, and vice versa. Lastly, we have her single, Rolling in the Deep. The success of this song allowed it to appear across 12 different Billboard charts, such as R&B, rock, and Latin. The track was one of the most widely crossed over songs in 25 years, and since 1986, only 5 artists have been able to have hits appear on different charts and radio formats. But Adele is the only one of them to do it with one song. This is one thing that made Adele's 21 so legendary: her mass appeal. Simply put, Adele in her music has the ability to appeal to about every demographic across music. With Adele's music primarily being soul, the hints of other influences as she progresses with each record allows her to draw in more audiences who like those specific subgenres. Since Adele's music isn't rooted too heavily in a genre such as pop, electronic, rap, or what have you, it doesn't channel a specific demographic. However, her soul sound does allow her to connect to older audiences more specifically. Her honesty and lyricism in correlation to the record's title present a relatability to people around those ages. Whether you may be 19, 21, or in high school, or an adult, Adele's story captures a specific moment in time in relation to one's own romantic endeavors that anyone can understand. Adele's music is also easy listening. There's no brash production, nothing necessarily explicit, nothing to make you squirm. Her image is very appealing, as is her aesthetic. What appeals so many people to Adele is she can get on stage in a stunning gown and just sing her heart out for 2 hours. She doesn't want, need, or have to use crazy set pieces or wild costuming. There's nothing wrong with that, but she opts to allow her talent speak for itself. By that, she instantly becomes more likable and more relatable. Not everyone needs a spectacle, and Adele's music doesn't necessarily call for wild lights or crazy choreography. Adele, in short, you see what you get, and you know what to expect. Despite sublime changes in tone, story, image, and sound with each record, she never deviates in a way that's so unexpected we can't enjoy her music. Adele's general simplicity makes her relatable to so many people. She's identifiable. She doesn't seem like an untouchable pop star. She could be a friend, a family member, or a neighbor. So knowing that, how did Adele follow up with even more success when 25 came around? With what we know already, the success came about very similarly to 21, but there was a different approach. 25 came out nearly 5 years after 21. With this prolonged silence in the industry and the mass success she's accumulated, there's this intense anticipation for new music. 25 is described as a makeup record, as opposed to 21 being a breakup record. Knowing 25 reflects Adele's viewpoint at that age, we're already interested to see and know how her perspective has changed and what stories she wants to tell. 25 also channels a much more electronic influence across it, with the use of 80s-inspired R&B and instruments. Just as with 21 incorporating a more pop flair, 25 is on with the times with the subgenre influences. So therefore, it's again Adele's classic sound, but with modern influences to keep it current. The lead single, Hello, was released right a month before 25. With Adele being gone for 4 years, the last thing she needed to do is have a drawn-out lead-up to her record. She dropped the lead, but built immediate hype around it before she dropped the record. In this time frame, she performed numerous times live, with heavy promotion to support the upcoming record. Adele basically did in a month what many artists do in a 3-month time span leading up to their record's release. Adele may have followed a more traditional pop rollout with 21, but that just might not have worked with 25. I think Adele definitely needed hype, but hype can quickly fall as the anticipation is dragged on and is not consistent. Promotion aside, the internet was alive with rumors she was coming to drop a record, and reports circulated numerous artists postpone album release dates to avoid competing with Adele. That in itself makes you very excited and very curious what could be so interesting and powerful about 25. Additionally, Adele kept 25 off streaming services during its initial release, which thus prompted higher physical sales, as it was the only way to get the record. The track Hello gave an essence to 21, without seeming like it was a reject or unoriginal. And with Adele's music having an overall forlorn quality about it, releasing 25 in the fall was the perfect timing to associate the feelings with cold, isolation, and longing. As with her previous eras, 25 wouldn't be an era that would last that long. As with 21, the tour for 25 launched very quickly following the release of the record and carried into 2017. What we notice with 21 and 25 is Adele gets right into touring after the release of her record, and then basically disappears following raking in awards and having different but effective promotion tactics for each record. Adele attacks her eras. I can't say if she has long drawn out plans for her eras, but and seems like she never overstays her welcome. She's never oversaturated, which keeps her that much more interested and keeps engagement. She evenly spaces out her singles, doesn't necessarily overpromote them, allows herself to be in the spotlight mainly during the months around the record's release, goes on tour, and then she's gone. Each of her eras has been a moment, a massive success, massive sales, many awards. Adele achieves her success with her consistency. Consistent sound with changing influences, consistent image and aesthetic with minor changes, consistent stories across her discography with evolving perspectives, and consistent timeline of release. This, along with her ability to rely solely on her talent, have a wholesome image, attain relatability, and always blow away people with her voice, Adele is never going to fail. She has a specific way of doing things. And most recently, Adele has announced she will be hosting Saturday Night Live. And she announced it a week before it's happening. So there's a bit of an element of surprise there. Though she isn't the musical guest, what do you think will come from Adele on Saturday Night Live? And is this the beginning of a new era? If it is, do you think Adele can still sell as much now that we are fully 100% in the streaming era? Do you think she's going to change anything about her music or sound? What are you looking forward to in the new era of Adele? Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Be sure to drop a like, subscribe, and turn on a notification bell for more future content on all your favorite pop stars.